Hello, my name is LKeith and I am currently a candidate in the Master's of Education program of Instructional Technology at Kennesaw State University. Throughout these past 2 years, I have been working towards completion of a capstone project and proposal, and this project was entitled Implementing Web Tools in a Middle Grades Classroom. Throughout this presentation, I will go over many things, so here's the agenda. Start with the introduction about myself with a little background information, followed by the problem of the school as well as the need that needed to be addressed. Then I'll go through the capstone project plan, the experience as well as the results, followed to the end by the reflection and of course the references. I am LKeith. I am currently a master's candidate. I am enrolled in the Instructional Technology program at Kennesaw State University. It has taken 2 years to complete this program. I am in my final semester now. Currently, I teach 6th grade Earth Science at Daniel Middle School. Daniel Middle School is located in Cobb County. I have 4 years of middle school experience, teaching 4 years in 6th grade as well as 1 year split being in 6th and 7th grade. And prior to that, I taught 1 year of pre-kindergarten in Barrow County. The capstone had to have a foundation for a problem that must be addressed. The problem at my school was that many people felt there was not enough professional development offered throughout the year, and what was offered was not always useful. So when they had these sessions, the sessions were considered and viewed often as lacking in the details that teachers need to be able to learn and really take away the material. To put it in a nutshell, teachers felt they were basically wasting their time. Technology needed to be considered and enhanced and implemented to help support the school strategic plan for Daniel, and that was the whole basis for this implementing of the web tools. The main need at Daniel Middle School was that teachers needed useful sessions of professional development. They wanted to be able to learn and support their lessons as well as their content areas within the classroom. They needed the ability of where and how to use this information and where they could find it, items such as videos or how-tos or anything else that would show them and share with them Web 2.0 tools that would help support their professional development as well as their sessions. The teachers also felt they needed the ability to seek additional support and guidance, as often people would come in and host the professional development sessions, but they would not be around at later time when the questions arose. So for the capstone, I laid out a project plan which started in June of 2014. The proposal and plan went from June of 2014 all the way through January of 2015, where the proposal and the actual implementation project ended. Basically, in June of 2014, I created a survey that I was going to share with the teachers in my building. I also started to create an actual Weebly website that housed the information that I would plan to have for sessions. I also created a Wikispaces page for the staff to share and implement for the blended learning. I also realized that the Weebly website was very difficult to use for teachers to actually access and post information on. In July of 2014, I shared the survey and analyzed the results with the initial survey teachers shared with me. I also began discussing the information about the overwhelming project that I had planned with the staff during our pre-planning within Cobb County. During the first session was offered during the week of pre-planning in July of 2014. Ongoing, I continued to have updates of the Weebly website, which actually turned into a wiki space. And I was able to provide feedback and information to fellow teachers as well as any information that was learned within the sessions and information that they would want to take away from the sessions. I also created several PowerPoints and presentations as well as handouts for sessions during the June to December timeline. With the July through December timeline, I was able to host and offer 12 sessions about various Web 2.0 tools that I had researched. The sessions were available both in the morning as well as in the afternoon to try to accommodate as many teachers as possible. Between December 2014 and January 2015, I also went back and had conducted follow-up Google Doc surveys with any teacher that participated, whether it was one session or numerous. Finally, in January of 2015, at the end of the project, I've conducted a final professional development meeting to share any final thoughts, have input, discuss, and learn best ways that I could take away and improve this process in the future. I was also able to find out how the teachers felt in regards to the technologies they implemented. The evaluation plan for this project basically included feedback assessments, both in formative and summative form. So the overall feedback was just to gain from the teachers the ultimate way they wanted to seek the information for what they were needing, professional development. So they were able to learn and give feedback to me and to their peers about the implementation of the web tools within their classroom. There were two types of main formative assessment throughout this process. The teachers were able to communicate with me and other teachers as well through the wiki space. They were able to post questions and comments, as well as links onto the wiki space for each other to comment on, provide insight, and ask questions about. Also, teachers were able to share and communicate the positive and negative results and impacts that they were seeing within the sessions, as well as within the implementation within their classroom. The summative assessments were basically two. The teachers were able to participate in a summative survey that was at the end of the entire process and wrapped up in January after the entire capstone had been implemented and completed. This helped provide feedback for me as well as the others to see what was learned, how it was used, and what the best ways to take away would be for the future. The other summative assessment was the group discussion. I shared several questions that were addressed at the end meeting and wanted to seek guidance and communication about what they thought, as well as what they learned, took away, and would improve. I wanted to learn from my mistakes. Overall, the capstone was a really good experience. I had to change the final end project from collaboration due to the fact that the Weebly was not very well supported. It's a great tool, but I found that I wanted something that the teachers could interact with in a more blended learning environment. So we actually created a webtools@daniel.wikispaces.com account. The teachers had access to this anytime they needed it. After any session, I posted all of the required items, as well as videos on how-tos and also questions. I ended up holding 13 one-hour professional development sessions instead of the 12 because teachers requested certain things be added. This was all held during the fall 2014 semester from the months of July all the way through December. Throughout this process, I was able to help engage in communication online via the wiki spaces, not only for myself, but with many of the colleagues in my building that began posting and learning how to use these tools. And I changed some of the plan because, I'll be honest, it was filtering issues within Cobb County. I had certain tools that I had planned to use, such as Jing, but I had to replace that with Screencast-O-Matic because I found that the filtering system in the network for Cobb County decided it would not allow those to be posted on our websites as well as logged onto our actual school computers. So what were the results? Well, many teachers were able to begin to communicate better and through more web tools in their classroom. They learned about the new and upcoming user-friendly web-based 2.0 tools, and they enhanced their lesson plans. They were able to provide more enhancement in their classrooms for assessment as well as just interaction and engagement. So they were able to improve and utilize these tools during the sessions they learned from me as well as through each other because they fed off each other within the sessions. Lastly, for the results, the school strategic plan was addressed by having a higher implementation of technology school-wide, which was one of the areas that was often addressed as a weakness. Teachers reported having a higher likelihood of implementing these lessons due to having a higher comfort level with them. That had been one of the prior needs and concerns, and based on this and having the feedback provided on the wiki, they were able to learn and take away much more. I'm proud to report there was a 100% success rate of implementation of at least one or more Web 2.0 tools that they learned from the sessions. Every teacher tried at least one. I gained a strong foundation for developing and hosting professional development sessions, the time it takes to put in, what it means to be a facilitator and a technology leader within my building, and I developed a rapport with many of my colleagues that I had never had one with before. They often now view me as a technology, quote, go-to person within the building, where before I was just another teacher on the hallway. Overall, I learned thorough explanations and specific directions are very important when working with tools, specifically web-based tools. Whether it's an adult you're working with or a student, I took away that these are the requirements to make sure everyone understands. I also learned you have to expect the unexpected. Anytime you have technology, you have to prepare that mistakes will be made, things will not work, and you have to be able to improve from that, learn from that, and plan for what might happen in the future. Overall, I feel that I have a much higher comfort and ease level with sharing and developing professional development sessions. I know that I can take away what I've learned from this, and I understand and can demonstrate what it means to be a technology leader within my school and any school I may come into later. The references I used were from Mr. Richardson as well as Mr. Solomon and Mr. Shroom, and they supported and taught me ways that were great for web implementation. Thank you.